Hi guys, it's Jess. Um, I just made a video yesterday, but I'm making another one tonight. Mostly because I had something else on my mind that I wanted to talk about, and it came to light because of a discussion that I was having with somebody who's, pretty close to me. Um, Asked me the other night if they were a terrible person because they felt like um, Caitlyn Jenner was not really as big of a hero as, soldiers and police officers and things like that. And asked me, am I a horrible person? And my answer to that was no. No, that doesn't make you a horrible person just for having an opinion. Um, what would make you a horrible person would be why you don't think that Caitlyn Jenner is a hero. If you just think, well, because there's so many people spitting out hatred and bigotry and the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. So for me, it's not about your view on how much of a hero you think Caitlyn Jenner is, or even whether you think Caitlyn Jenner is a hero or not, but why you think she's a hero or not. For me, as a transgender person, I do feel that Caitlyn Jenner is a hero. However, I don't really feel like Caitlyn Jenner is a hero just because it's Caitlyn Jenner. I don't feel like Caitlyn Jenner as a person is really heroic or has done anything that I'm really all like, yay, Caitlyn Jenner is amazing and stands for the best things ever. Honestly, I don't know Caitlyn Jenner that well. I didn't really know her before she came out and had all this media exposure. I don't really know her now. I mean, I knew the very general basics of who she was and the family that she's related to, but I don't really know anything else besides that. I didn't really care, and I still don't really care. I don't care too much about who Caitlyn Jenner is as a person. I care about the fact that she's transgender and that she brought a lot of attention to the transgender community as a whole. And that's where Caitlyn Jenner is a hero in my book. Now, I'll explain a little bit better than that because I don't think that that's clear enough. So for me, um, where Caitlyn Jenner really shows that, or more of this, what really makes Caitlyn Jenner a hero is the limelight that has been cast upon the transgender community, the amount of awareness that has sprung out of that, and the amount of coverage that it's getting for people who, the youth and everything else that, their whole lives have not really been told that they're valid for being who they are now seeing attention, and we're getting a lot of positive feedback and things in the community. And I know even for me, I mean, it's already helped a ton that I just feel so much more relaxed and open about who I am. And even though I came out just a little bit before Caitlyn, it still had a big impact. And a lot of people just keep saying that she's not really a hero. She's not as much of a hero as this person or that person. First of all, the very first thing I have to say about that is that being a hero is not a contest. Being a hero, being courageous, being brave, whatever, it's not a contest. I don't understand why people keep making it into one. And when she got that award from ESPN, people hammered on her because they said, oh, look, this was the runner up, this soldier that was an amputee or whatever. It's like, the soldier wasn't even in the runnings. It was an ESPN award, and they were giving it to Caitlyn Jenner because she won gold medals and was brave in what she was doing. And what was really sad is that you would see all these news stories about her, and if you went to the comments and looked in them, you would see some of the most vile, bigoted, hatred, disgusting, vile comments that you could possibly imagine. Things where people were saying that Caitlyn Jenner is just a sick old man who's a pervert, or is just sick and going to hell. It's a disgrace to human race. Should be in a mental institution. is just a freak for wanting to cut her genitals off and blah, 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 blah. The disgusting, vile hatred from a specific certain subset of the population is just incredibly awful. And I think it's the same sort of thing that we still see today with, gay marriage. That, I mean, just think about this, guys. It wasn't until this year, 2015, that gay people can marry each other everywhere in this country. That's insane. That is absolute insanity. But the reason why I feel like Caitlyn Jenner and what she's done and stuff is so important, as for me to label her a hero, is that I liken what she's done to what Ellen DeGeneres did. Now, I love Ellen DeGeneres. I know tons about Ellen DeGeneres, and I think she's an amazing woman. And I don't know anywhere near as much about Caitlyn Jenner, so I'm gonna hold my judgment on that one. But Ellen, I remember when Ellen came out on her show. And I remember that the media lost their damn minds. The network lost their damn minds. They removed her from TV, and they went berserk because they were going crazy. Oh, you can't do that. You can't say that. People are going to stop watching. We're going to get all kinds of hate mail and death threats and bomb threats and oh my God, panic. And it turned out that the media and the networks were completely and totally wrong. The American population was totally fine with it. In fact, they supported it because we live in an era where it's like, no duh, people are gay. So what? We all know people that are gay, and even more and more as we go through the generations, it's becoming more and more acceptable. The overwhelming majority of the people that are still against gay marriage and equal rights for the LGBT community are, old, bigoted, racist, religious right-wing nutjob zealots. They're a dying breed. And, things are going to get better. But in the same way that what Ellen did, because when Ellen did that and they realized that they were wrong, that the American people were totally fine with it. In fact, the American people supported it. TV shows and movies and everything else just started coming out of the woodwork all over the place with gay characters and gay storylines and gay actors coming out and gay sports players and everything else. It was crazy. So much so to the point today that when, somebody comes out as gay, we're just like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. And it's an amazing thing because just as far back as when I was a little bit younger, it was unheard of. And now it's like, okay, it's kind of the norm. And I think that's a great thing. And I think that Caitlyn Jenner coming out is going to be pretty much the same sort of thing as a result. I think that her coming out and bringing that attention to the limelight, you're getting a lot more people interested in thinking about it, and we're seeing all these different stories coming out about different transgender people, and it's just getting a lot more attention, and that's a good thing because we exist. A conservative number out there says that there's about 700,000 transgender people in the United States. And so we are there. We do exist. We're not like this super ultra rare species. We're a normal part of life that just happens. And so it's great to finally see some people paying attention to it, and the overwhelming response has been positive, has been supportive. It's been people saying, oh my God, I feel so bad for transgender people who are born inside the wrong body and they have to struggle just to become what they, become on the outside what they feel like they are truly on the inside. It's awful. They're and the violence that's being perpetrated against them is horrible, and it's very uplifting to see that coming out of the overall community as a whole. And so it's fabulous. So that's why I would consider Caitlyn Jenner to be a hero. But not only is it not a contest, but it confuses me when people try to make it into one, because that's really like, I don't get it. I mean, whether somebody's a hero or not is completely subjective. Somebody's going to think that somebody's a hero, and other people are going to think, no, not really, not so much. So when it comes to Caitlyn Jenner, yes, I think she's a hero. If you don't, good for you. Fine. Just, and that's fine, so long as your reasoning isn't some hateful, bigoted, just disgusting, vile thing, but you have some sort of valid point for why they're not a hero, then I'm okay with it. When it comes to those sorts of debates, though, it boggles my mind, because who are you to decide who's a hero, or how heroic somebody is, or whether they're brave or courageous or whatever else? And again, why is it a competition? But even if it were, how do you decide that? Because something I thought about was, how do you decide who's the bigger hero in a situation? Let's say we have a handful of people, and we have a police officer that works in a rural town in the middle of nowhere with, maybe a population of a couple hundred or 1,000. And maybe we have a teacher that works in a poor area of a city, underprivileged youth who just struggles just to impart knowledge and help them dig their way out of where they're starting at. Or maybe you have a soldier who's on their second tour of duty as a requisitions officer. And maybe you have a single father who's holding down 2 or 3 jobs just to support their children and give them a better life. Who's the hero here? I mean, to me, they're all heroes. Who's the bigger hero? Hell if I know. First of all, I'm not the right person to ask that question to. I mean, how am I supposed to judge that? Who's the bigger hero out of all those? I mean, they all seem like heroes to me in one way or another. But even if you could somehow rank them, why would you? What difference does it make? So if I say that soldier is a hero, does that mean that single father slaving away to help his kids have a better life, does that mean he's not a hero? Or if I choose that rural police officer, does it mean that the teacher working with underprivileged youths in a bad part of town, struggling to impart knowledge upon them and help them dig their way out of poverty, is that teacher not a hero then? Because I already used up the hero? That's my biggest problem with the whole Caitlyn Jenner argument. And I know that this is kind of going back to something that seems like it should be past now, but I just had this discussion the other day. Like I said, somebody that was close to me asked me that because they got in a fight with a friend of theirs who's basically wants to cut off all discussion with them because they called them transphobic and bigoted and everything else. Meanwhile, they're asking me about it because I'm friends with them. Duh. And doesn't want to talk to them anymore because they said they didn't feel like Caitlyn Jenner was as big a hero as those other people. Now, me, I have a hard time understanding why that is exactly. The argument I think I got was that, Caitlyn Jenner's just a washed-up celebrity who's seeking attention or whatever, and I mean, that's fine. But I can't discount what she did because what she did will save lives. Whether she intended for it to do so or not, whether she did it for her own personal spotlight and attention or to kickstart her career or whatever else, even if she did it for that reason, it's still going to save lives. It's going to save the lives of people who are going to kill themselves, who are going to get violently attacked by people just for being different. It's going to save lives, and it could start a complete and total revolution of the LGBT community and the transgender community as a whole, just because of the attention that she got. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I do think she's a hero. And I don't understand all the contention and debate on why people have to fight over that. I don't get it. I don't get it. And like I say in every single video I do, I don't understand that hatred and the infighting and the bitterness and the bigotry and everything else. I don't get it. What does it solve? How does this help anything? Because you being filled with hatred and disgust and bigotry and slamming people down and fighting against progress and change and everything else, how does this help you? I don't get it. How does two loving adults, consenting, loving adults, two males, two females who want to get together, who want to have a marriage and have equal rights as everybody else, how the hell does that affect you and what you do in your life? I don't understand why people have to step in there where they have no business whatsoever to try to interrupt what somebody else wants to do with their life. It makes no sense. It doesn't get them anything to do that. It doesn't even help them in any way to accomplish anything. And it's the same thing with these people that keep bashing Caitlyn Jenner and calling her disgusting and despicable and everything else. How in the world does this help you in any way, shape, or form? To be a disgusting, vile pig of a person. How does that help you? How does that help anybody? It doesn't. All it does is bash people down, treat people like crap that are already going through hard times, who have already either contemplated suicide or have actually attempted to do so. All you're doing is pushing their buttons and making them feel worse about themselves. Why would anybody want to be that person? I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. It accomplishes nothing in life, but you know what does accomplish things in life? Love. Friendship and support are the most important things in this world. And showing love and care for your fellow human beings, that's not only going to help bring other people up, but that's going to help you become a better person. And if you help bring those other people up, they can help you when you need it. What does beating them down do? Doesn't help you. Doesn't help them. Doesn't help anybody. So what the hell are people being so angry for? Love each other. Support each other. Be there for each other. There's no reason in this day and age for us to be fighting with one another. Especially those of us that are in the LGBT community. Stop fighting with one another. Why are we doing that? It doesn't make any sense. We should be in this boat together. We should be fighting together, and we should be supporting one another. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people tear other people down for no damn good reason. I mean, today I saw in one of my support groups, it has support right in the name. Somebody was whining and complaining that there isn't enough topics of discussion that has to do with the rape of transgendered people and with the imprisonment of transgendered people and the adoption rates and the murder rates and all this other stuff. It's a support group. They want to turn this group into an advocacy group. They want to turn them into something that it isn't. It's a support group. We're there to support one another. So why do you come in there, start complaining and tearing other people down because they're posting a picture of themselves because they want to feel good about themselves? Because they want to post a picture and hope somebody's going to go, "Oh, you look really good." That's support. It really frustrates me. It really, really does. And it hurts me, and it tears me up inside to see these people just turning against their own kind, treating each other like dirt, making each other feel worse about who they are. It makes no damn sense. Stop it. We need to support and love one another, because that is the only way to actually accomplish anything in this life. With that said, love y'all. Peace. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. Share it with other people. Please, I'm doing this for a reason. I want to help people. I want other people to understand that there is good in this world, and that they don't need to be filled with hatred and disgust and vile, dark thoughts. They need love and care and support. That's what we need. So please help me spread that message, whether you're going to share my video, whether you're going to share my thoughts, whether you're just going to go out and be kind to one another. That's all I can ask for. Please. I love y'all. Take care.